No. No. Ready.
Okay, I think it is recording. I guess, does it show that it's recording?
No. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I see.
Okay, great. So yeah, so Julia, do you want to talk about yourself, where you are, what school you're in, what are you studying?
Sure. I study vet medicine in our agrarian university. I'm in 10th semester now, so 5th year. So now I have my last semester. So my high education here during 5 years. And then I become a specialist or something. Not a specialist in our country is something more than just bachelor in USA or in Europe. Do you want to know about general education system in Russia or only about high education?
Okay, so we want to know about a higher education, but you can start by just telling us a little bit about how the system is. Maybe you you go for high school for 2 years or 3 years. So just anything you want us to know, then you can focus on higher education.
Okay, well, in Russia, that's all started with kindergarten by us, yeah. So I think when the child become 2 years old, you as a father or mother, you as a parent can give your child an opportunity go to kindergarten. But in Russia, not all children. So children don't have to visit this step of education. That's that depends on willing of parents. Then, when child become 7 years old, and it's obligatory, children should go to school, which include elementary school, and it took 4 years. Then middle school, it took 5 years. So from 5th grade to 9th grade. And then young people can choose leave school or not to leave. So when if you want to finish school at after 9th grade, you should obligatory go in technical college. It's not like university, but it's, I don't know how to explain it.
So it's kind of like a vocational and technical school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then or you can stay at school after 9th grade. Then you have after no how to say. So after 9th grade, you can stay in school more 2 years. So 2 years more.
Okay.
And then you have an opportunity to go to the university. Yeah, okay. And at the universities we have 2 types of education. I don't know how to say. First type, it's when you study 4 years. After 4 years studying in university, you become a bachelor. And then you can it's your wish to continue your education 2 years more, and then you become a master. Or
Okay.
second type, that's my type of higher education, when you study just 5 years, and then you become a specialist. I don't know what else to say about our educational system, but
So,
you can ask me about something and I try to answer.
okay, so with the specialized education that you go for 5 years, what are the programs that you can enroll in?
You can start with this type education, vet medicine, just a common human medicine, or couples of buildings educational program. I mean, architect, yeah, and I think that economy safety, we have this educational program. Economy safety, yeah. This educational program contains, I think, also 5 years, and you become specialist.
Okay, so do you have the specialized programs or school in the same system as the normal, 4 years for your bachelor's? I don't know if my question is clear. Like, do you attend a different, are there like different schools for the specialized programs, or it's just like one university or one school for everything?
No, we don't have special universities or special schools for these types of higher education. That's common include in just in usual university.
Okay.
So we study together in one university, specialists and bachelor and masters.
Okay. And is it, sorry, Augustine, is it compulsory to have a master's after your bachelor's, or it's optional?
It's optional, but many people say, many old people, for example, my parents or parents, my boyfriend or friends, that have not really complete higher education without master's program. So many old people do pressures on young people, then they should have master's diploma too. But it's completely optional.
Okay.
So the 5 years is for you to be specialist. That's what you are in now, right?
Right. I forgot to say that some specialists program took more than 5 years, also 6 years. For example, medical students, they are specialists by when you study therapy as a medical student, you should study 6 years. But when you study stomatology, it took also 5 years, like by vet medicine.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you get a PhD.
But mostly it took 5 years.
Okay. So what if the person is not able to complete the 5-year period? Can the person get, say, a master's degree after 2-year period?
I not really understand your question. Can you repeat it?
With a 5 years duration, okay, that you are in now. So if, say, I want to do the same thing, but after 2 years, I want to stop, can I get a master's degree for that and quit schooling?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So when do Do you ask me about when you finished only 2 years from
Yes.
these 5 years?
Yes.
So you just losing your time. You can't change the program. You
Okay.
can't. So you just can't do nothing with it,
Great.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
So what year are you in now?
I'm on the last year, on the
Okay.
5th year.
So that's
So
the
I'm almost done.
okay.
Wow.
Well, you're just near the
Congratulations
finish
in
line.
advance.
Yeah. So my next question is in relation to funding, because I know most European schools have, free tuition or, yeah, something like that. So do you want to talk about how students fund their education?
How students what?
Fund, like, how much do you
Scholarship.
pay
Ah,
for school? Is it
yeah,
free?
yeah, I understand. It strangely depends of the region of our country, because our country is very big, and
Mhm.
some regions are more attractive for students. For example, Moscow and St. Petersburg are more attractive for young people, because there's a kind of Moscow is a capital, and St. Petersburg is just a big city with a rich history and pretty architect, So in those, I think that in those two cities, not so many. So in Russia, we have an option when we pass our exams after school, after 11th grade, very well. You can use government scholarship, or kind of, and become an opportunity study for free. So your government, our country pay for our high education. Yeah, but not all educational areas can use this opportunity. For example, law students, jurisprudencia, don't have any government scholarships, because so many people want to go there, so many people want to study this program, enroll this program. So government don't need to give these scholarships, because people already pay for themselves. But some educational programs, for example, my program, have almost 70% free places. No, okay. For example, almost 70% people in my group at the university are studying for free.
Wow.
Well, and yeah, that's great, but because our country needs more veterinary specialists, and our country pay for us for our education. On the other hand, economy specialists not really our country need these specialists, but government doesn't pay for economy students.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, and Mhm.
So what you're trying to say is that the government will fund programs or areas that are pertinent to, like what the country really needs.
Can you please repeat?
Yeah. So the government would fund programs and areas that are really needed, in like for the country.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so do you have any questions?
Yeah. She was talking about international funding.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask a question about international students who come to Russia to study. Do they also receive such funding from the government? And at what rate is that?
I have some problems with connection. So could you please repeat?
Concerning funding, concerning the scholarship that students receive, does it apply to international students as well?
That's a really good question, but I don't know because I'm not an international student. But I know that some international students become really good support from their government. For example, my boyfriend study oil and gas engineering here in Krasnodar, and in his group are 4 or 5 international students. One of them came from Angola. Do you know this country?
Yeah.
Came from Angola, and that guy become a really good scholarship from his country. I think students who study for free here in Russia by government's scholarship, our government's scholarship. When they have success in study, so good notes, they become a little money. Also scholarship, I think it's called. And my scholarship in a month is 2,000 rubles. I want to say this in dollars.
Okay.
Okay, $26 is my scholarship. Yeah, it's not really not so much. That's not much at all. But that guy from Angola become scholarship about $800 in monthly. So his scholarship is much more than my scholarship. That's what I know exactly.
Okay.
But about other countries, for example, about Ghana or about Burundi, one of my group mates came from Burundi. Mm-hmm. I don't know because I'm too shy to ask them about money.
Yeah.
So
okay, but thank you so much. My next question, I hope you're not tired. Are you tired?
Yeah, well, it's nothing.
Okay, so my next question is about so do your schools or do institutions have like resources like career offices, academic advice, and students organizations, resources to help students succeed and adjust to college?
I I think it also depends of the region of the universities because our country is too big to say something concretely. But I try to answer. Okay. In my university, we don't have so much of any of them, unfortunately. But I know that in St. Petersburg and in Moscow, big universities have services that can help newbies to know more about the universities, about the city, because many students they are coming from the other regions and live in a big life in a big city not always is easy, and that services help them to appropriate to oh, my awful English. Sorry.
That's fine. To adjust.
To adjust to new places. But I know that in my university we have a service for students when help to find a job, work. But it work only when you are already graduated. So you have a diploma and they can help you. But unfortunately, in my university, on my faculty, that's very, very hard to find a job during the study. Because we should always visit the classes every day. We can choose the time of our classes. For example, on Monday, I want to go classes since 8 to 12 and so on. We can choose. So that's really uncomfortable because in my situation, I'm 22 and I'm still on my parents' neck. They pay for me, and that's really uncomfortable for me. So I really want to have an opportunity to a part-time job, but I can't. So not really this student services, in my opinion, not really work. Useless. But us, it's really useless.
Okay. So last question from me. Last question, I promise. If you're to compare education or higher education during the Soviet Union and higher education now in Russia, what would you say about that?
I think that general principles of higher education in Soviet Union and in nowadays Russia are very similar. Because I heard about that in USA and in Europe, teachers don't think that we are children, that we have no words, that we have no emotions and so on. But here, not all teachers, but mostly and especially the old teachers, I think 40 years old or older, think that we have not personal life, have not emotions, that we are still children. I don't know why it is so, but I exactly know that in Soviet Union were the same. that situation was the same. But in general principles, of course, now we have some computers. Since this year, we have almost complete distant educational system on the internet, you know. But earlier we don't have any distance educational system. So this really hard for me to answer on this question, because I don't learned in Soviet Union, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. But as I asked my parents, they say that almost the same.
Okay.
But I think that earlier in Soviet Union, I hope the students become more knowledge than now. I think now that's still a really complicated question for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you did answer the question, so thank you.
One thing that I
yes.
want to ask you, thank you for your responses. We are really learning a lot. But I want to ask you about health insurance for students. How is it like? Is it free? Are you pay?
Okay, in Russia, you have free insurance, not when you students are, but always. When you study in school, when you working, you have free insurance, always. That's not depend on do you study anywhere or not. You just have it obligatory. So did I answer on your question, or there was some others?
I think that's it for me, but you did answer the questions. Augustine, do you have anything to say?
No, the only thing I wanted to add for the last time will be the countries that are represented most of the times in Russia, from the students that are coming from different countries. Do you think they are more from Africa, from Asia, from maybe US?
No, not US, not from US. I didn't see anybody from there.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I think mostly from the Africa. For example, in my group, study only one person, but he's from Burundi. In other groups, I know that some people from Ghana. In my boyfriend's group, how I already said, one guy from Angola, and from the Asia, I think it's mostly Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. Mostly from there come students from Asia. I think that Africa and Asia is the most students from. I didn't see anybody from Europe, USA, Australia, New Zealand, and so on. Never. But maybe in Moscow, I think some people from this country study in Moscow, but not in my city. My city not really popular. How I understand.
Okay, thank you very much.
Before you go, what's the name of your school?
Of my university?
Yeah.
Kuban State Agrarian University.
Okay. Okay, Julia. Augustine, do you have anything to add?
No, just thanks. We thank you very much for
Yeah,
giving
you're
us the-
welcome.
I think you've taken much of your time and
Well, it's nothing. It was really pleasure for me to you remind me how to speak English, and that's my English not really good.
No, it's
But
good because I
None
could actually understand you. Honestly, I could.
okay,
So yeah,
thanks.
but
How
thank
do
you so
spell
much.
Russia?
Bye bye.
And I will send you the presentation when I'm done with everything, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Stop recording now.